What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Heat and Soul Podcast. Today I'm joined by Felix Rogers from Inthegymhoops. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Man, you hit how many states this weekend filming content?
Four. I'm tired. Eyes tired.
2 hours later.
Let us know where you went, man. Where exactly did you go?
We went to the Baller's Wife Camp in St. Louis, Missouri. Left there, snuck up on my parents and stopped in Mississippi to see my parents. Then headed off to Nashville to do some video of Travis Brown from Mojo Up. Went to go shoot him at the Grand Ole Opry Hotel.
That is so cool, man. That's so cool. You can travel around, do what you love to do, man. Travel around, make content. We did a little bit of traveling this weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, we definitely did.
We hit up Chicago. We hit up Cool Kai, their sneaker event. Sneaker pop-up.
Yeah.
Kenny has got a shirt on right now.
Yeah, man, yeah.
I just dropped our video today.
Dope shirt. That's a dope shirt.
Yeah, it is. It's real tough. The Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman actually pulled up, so that was tough. That was tight, wasn't it, Kenny?
Yeah.
That was real tight. We picked up a pair of shoes, and I took the cream shirt because I wear enough black already. As you can see, I got a black shirt on. I got some black and white pants. But before we start the podcast, we're gonna pray real quick, and we're gonna pray over the podcast. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything you blessed us with. Thank you that I'm joined by Felix Rogers and Kenny. Thank you for my dad, Leo, and Brian in the background, making things go around. Thank you that we were able to travel this weekend and travel safely. Continue to bless us and be with us, be with all of our families. We pray for all the persecuted Christians around the world. We also pray for Mr. Stop's little daughter. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so let's kick it off a little bit. Where did your journey begin?
My journey began in Racine, Wisconsin, a little small town north of Chicago, about an hour. That's where it all began, in the hood, Southside Community Center, playing ball every day. Went to J.I. Case High School, had a full basketball scholarship to play at Marquette University, tore my ACL playing football. Then ended up going to an NAIA school in Rapid City, South Dakota, flunked out of college, then transferred back to Wisconsin Whitewater and finished my career playing Division III basketball, and then got married. Actually had an opportunity to go play pro over in the Philippines, but the money wasn't right, and I had a job already lined up to make more money than I was going to make playing basketball, so that was the end of my basketball playing career, if you will. Yep. And so, yeah. That was I graduated from college in 1995, and we moved to Indianapolis actually in 2002. Both of my kids were born in Rockford, Illinois. I'm, again, originally from Racine, Wisconsin, home of Karan Butler and Jim Jones and some former NBA players, and Gary Cole and Harvey Knuckles. Those are some guys that made it to the NBA. Matter of fact, Harvey Knuckles is my uncle. Anyway, we moved to Indianapolis in 2002. My son was born in 96, and how I started doing videos. You want to know that?
Oh yeah, that's what we want to get into.
Yeah,
that's why
how we started Inthegymhoops. So Inthegymhoops was born. The original name for Inthegymhoops is called Fans Indie B-Ball.
Fans Indie B-Ball.
Yeah, Fans Indie B-Ball. That stands for Felix. My wife's name is Adrena. My son's name is Nicholas, and my daughter's name is Sage. So we came up with this dumb acronym, Fans. And
it's funny. What made you change it? What made you change it?
It just didn't pop, man. Think about it. Would you click on Fans Indie B-Ball to watch the Instagram video?
Like a spam page.
It sounds like a fan business, right? Yeah.
But Inthegymhoops sounds like a real, and you guys have that intro that you hear on every single one of you.
You know that's my voice, right?
Outro. Yeah.
That's my voice.
Okay.
That was an accident how that came to be.
Was that your only intro and very first intro?
Yep.
Wow.
I've never changed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never changed it. But anyway, so my son must have been in the 7th or 8th grade. We were in Louisville at the John Lucas camp. Okay. And I approached, there was a guy, I don't know if you guys remember a company called City League Hoops.
Yeah.
The little TV screen. Well, City League Hoops is now MSH TV. That's the same person. Right. So I didn't know who he was. They had nothing. I had no idea about any of that stuff. We were at this camp. My son was playing okay, but I really wanted a video because that's around the time YouTube came out. YouTube came out in 2007. Excuse me. And so we were at this camp, and my son he was doing all right. And so I seen this kid filming the games and stuff. So I walked up to the guy and I was like, hey man, how much do I got to pay for a mixtape or a highlight film? I want my son to be on YouTube too. Right. And he was like $2,000, right? And I was like, damn, I don't have $2,000. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm looking at my wife like, do you think we could figure out how we can come up with $2,000? Maybe we should use the credit card. I was like, do you take credit card? And he was like, yeah, I take credit card. And so I really was thinking about spending the money to do it. And my wife finally said, no, you're going to have to start filming your own son. You're going to have to do it yourself. Yeah, and so we got back. I didn't have enough money, so I went to a pawn shop and got me a little JVC. As a matter of fact, I still have that camera. I got 6 of them right now, 6 little bitty handheld JV.
And you got those repetitively?
I went to every pawn shop in town. Once I got serious, I went to every pawn shop in town and bought a JVC for $50 so that I could have the same battery. Then I bought all of the batteries.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I bought all of the
film because batteries on cameras don't last very long.
Well, I had the extra long one, so I could film like maybe 2 games before or whatever. But I went to every pawn shop that I could find, and I bought like 6 of them. I got all 6 of them still. If something go wrong, I'll go find another one. But that was my go-to. That's why I can't see now, because the window on it was too little. I had to wear glasses now when I film.
Really?
Yeah, I can't see nothing now.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so
that shows dedication.
Oh yeah, so that's how it started. We started going to all of the high school games around town. I was really filming my son first. Originally, I was just filming him. And I was coming up with these videos, and it was Fans in the B-Ball Presents. Nick Rogers was the intro. And so it just wasn't getting the views. It wasn't getting the love, but he was doing well. He was getting, people were like, man, Nick getting better. His name's Nick Rogers, by the way. So consequently, he was in a lawn. He was cutting grass. He used to cut grass. He had his own little lawn service. He had like 30 customers in our neighborhood. And so he got in a hurry one day. He was in 10th grade at Pike High School, and he got in a hurry one day, and one of my neighbors wanted him to cut the grass. They hadn't got their grass cut in a couple of weeks, so it was real long and moist. Yep. And he got in a hurry. NBA 2K12 or 11 just came out, and he was just trying to rush and cut this dude grass, and so he could get home and play the game. And he stuck his hand in the lawnmower chute and cut off his middle finger on his shooting hand. Right, and we were absolutely devastated.
And how old was he at the time?
He was in 10th grade.
Wow. Was he really good and all that?
Oh yeah, he was real good, but it gets better. He had no scholarships before that. He learned how to shoot with his left hand. He learned how to shoot jumpers, and he was gonna switch to become a left-hand player. And he became a better shooter with his left hand than the right hand in that amount of time. And so anyway, make a long story short, he ended up coming back that season. He got back to shooting with his right hand.
Is it junior year by then?
No, it's 10th grade year.
Still 10th grade?
Yeah, he came back the same year because they tried to put the finger back on and it didn't take. Well, because that's really the blessing in the whole accident, because once the accident happened, we thought he was going to be out for the season, had to rehabilitate the joints and the ligaments and all of that stuff.
So it was a blessing in disguise.
It was a blessing in disguise, and nothing. And so when after he came back, because they took the finger, those ligaments and tendons didn't have to heal. So he was able to play as soon as the stitches removed, right? So when he came back, he had got moved up to the varsity as a freshman, but he didn't get to play any games. He just got to practice and all of that kind of stuff.
Get that field,
Yeah, so his sophomore year, he was going to be playing a lot of minutes. Well, they moved him back to JV after his first day of practice. And the coach told me, and I won't say the coach's name, but the coach told me that he was probably going to have to be a playground player. He wasn't going to be able to play at this level anymore. And I was like, okay, all right, that's fine.
How did that make you feel at the time?
Oh, I was pissed, but I didn't put up a fuss. We just left.
Yeah.
I took him out of the school, and I put him in Traders Point. And I'm still doing Fans Indie B-Ball. Right. I was that dad that sits in the middle of the bleachers with the tripod, and the game would be over here, and the camera would be down here. That was me. Okay. That was me. I was that dad, right? You could hear all of this yelling in the background. Come on, man. That was me, right? And so they, so he told him all of this, and anyway, and he went back to JV. I was upset. So fast forwarding, he goes over to Trader Point. I reclassified him. after the accident.
Okay.
He really was. He's an August birthday, so he was a year younger than everybody in his grade anyway.
okay.
Yeah, so
He started school when he was 5.
It got him back into the.
He was in the right grade that he was supposed to be anyway, based on Indiana kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Yeah, you know. So anyway, we put him back in the grade. So when he went over there, the head coach at Traders Point was a former NBA player. He's Ohio University's all-time leading scorer. His name is Dave Jamerson. He's a pastor at the church. Okay. He was the head coach at Traders Point. He played with the Houston Rockets. He played with the Jazz, and he played with the New Jersey Nets. Okay. He was the best player on my son's high school team because I used to go to their practice, and he used to absolutely destroy all of them. Right. He was bad, but he was about 40-some years old, still killing. But he had a radar gun. He could straight shoot it. Anyway, this is when it kind of evolved in the gym hoops, right? So we were on our way to practice to my AAU team. I had an AAU team called Team 317. People don't even know that I played college basketball. People don't even know that I coached high school basketball, and I had an AAU team. I had C.J. Walker, who played at Ohio State. I had Dwayne Gibson on my team, who played at Nova Southeastern. C.J. Hardaway, Derek Hawthorne, my son, Michael Binkert played with me that played at Center Grove. Okay. My AAU team was nasty.
Yeah, so you had your AAU team running. You had the Indie Hoops going. And all that.
No, in the gym. This was before the AAU team was before in the gym hoops.
Oh, so you did all your coaching before then.
Yeah.
But did that inspire you, having those players and saying, "Hey, I have this talent and I can put this on social media"? Did that give you any?
There was no social media back then. There was no Twitter or none of that type of stuff back then when I was coaching them. Okay. I coached them from 3rd grade to 6th.
Okay, so this was. What,
2003, 4, 2004, 5, 6.
And then YouTube hit in
7.
When did Instagram hit?
Like 2012, 13, maybe 14.
Okay, because I remember all the original, you had the John Wall mixtapes, all the mixtapes that came out, the big ones.
They were all YouTube. Everything was YouTube. Yeah, that was all YouTube. So when I originally started, I posted everything on YouTube, 1-2 minute videos and all of that kind of stuff. It was no Twitter, none of that stuff. Twitter came out in like 10, if I'm not mistaken. Twitter was first, then Instagram and all of the other stuff. Yeah. Actually, Facebook was before. Facebook was around the same time as Twitter. Actually, Facebook was before Twitter.
Did you mess with a little bit of MySpace or anything like that?
No, my son did. My son was on MySpace, but I didn't do that. No. Okay. So getting back to his situation, so when he went to Traders Point, we were on our way to an AAU basketball practice, and I had been trying to figure out a new name for fans in DB ball because it just wasn't popping. And Ball This Life was all the way around. City League Hoops had the cold intro, and I was like, all of these cold companies had these cold intros and stuff, and I was like, dang, I got to come up with something. And so I called my dad on the phone. We were on our way to practice, and he was like, "Where you headed to, boy?" And I said, "I'm on my way to practice, man. We always live in the gym." And I said, "I'm on my way to practice." And he said, "That's all y'all do is live in the gym." And I was like, that's it. That's it. I hung up the phone. I called my wife all excited. I was like, I got a name. It's going to be called Inthegymhoops. And from that point on, I created a little bootleg logo and started putting that on the videos. And if you go back on my YouTube page, you can look at the old logos. It was a terrible looking logo, and so, but all of my old videos are still there. I never removed them.
And at this time, right, you did the logo. Was this still strictly for your son?
It was only for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want college coaches to know that I was his dad. Right. I didn't want anybody to know that I was promoting my son. Right. And so, because I didn't get in it to do videos for anybody else but him. Right. That's what I got into it for. Exactly. And so, when he came to Traders Point, Steve Rutherford, his son name is Jamie Rutherford. He played at Texas Southern, He played at a few colleges, but Texas Southern is the one that pops in my mind. And Nick Rutherford is his son too. He played at St. John's, but Jamie Rutherford's dad was like, "Man, I've been noticing the videos, man, and I know you probably the one doing them for Nick. Can you do one for Jamie?" He was my first customer who purchased the video from me, and he provided me with the footage.
So actually, how much did you charge at the time? Like, so
I didn't know what to charge. He gave me like $50.
He gave you $50 for how long of a video?
The video was like 6 minutes.
So you was doing your son's videos average around 6 minutes?
3, 4, 3, 4. I thought 3 minutes was too short.
Oh, you thought 3 minutes was too short. You thought you was robbing him at the time?
Yeah.
And now you can throw 6 minutes of footage in a minute video. That's what you do now. You're very talented.
Yep. So anyway, that particular year, so when I came to brought him to Traders Point, the kids was like, "Man, how come Inthegymhoops only does your video, Nick?
Yeah.
How come you the only one to get videos from Inthegymhoops?" And so he was like, "Oh, that's my dad, man." And so all the kids,
nobody knew you.
Nobody knew.
Okay.
And so all of the kids started saying, "Man, you think he'd do one for me? You think he'd do one for me?" And so this kid's dad had his own like real estate business, and he purchased a video and he gave me $500. He said, I want a video. And I was like, "Well, okay." And he was like, "Would $500 work?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And so that's how it all got started. I did the whole team. And from that point on, once I reclassified my son, I took him to the Kent State Elite Basketball Camp, July 1st, 2011. And I took him. Everybody in Indianapolis went to Toledo camp.
Right.
I didn't want to go to somewhere where he was playing against the same kids. Took him to the Kent State camp, and he dunked on a kid that had already received an offer from them, and he got his first scholarship offer from Kent State. Now, this is a kid missing a finger.
Right.
Well, when he graduated from all of the videos that we produced for him throughout his high school and the AAU days, and he played with EG10. Back then, EG10 was good. Their whole team, except for C.J. Hardaway and Dwayne Gibson, went Division I. Their whole team. And so after that happened, things just evolved. When he graduated from Traders Point, he had 25 Division I offers, 7 of them high major. Nebraska, Ole Miss, Oklahoma State. I'm thinking South Florida. I can't even name them all. Valparaiso, UIC, IUPUI, and he went to a post-grad prep school because I reclassified him in high school. And so he ended up having to go. He waited too long to make a decision because my parents lived 15 minutes from Ole Miss. I really wanted him to go to Ole Miss.
Okay.
And we can talk about that a little bit later if you want.
Okay.
But he ended up going to Toledo. And it didn't work out. My son had a bad attitude. He wasn't listening. Wouldn't listen to the coach. Kind of got a little big-headed because he was getting all of the love and all of the offers, and he ended up not playing much that freshman year. He played about 15 minutes a game, though, which is pretty good for a freshman, but he didn't like the coach. The coach didn't like him, and he put himself in a porter and transferred to IUPUI and finished up out there.
And did he hoop there? Did he
He scored about 600 points and he had about 200 or 300 assists.
Okay.
So he was a starting point guard there. He's still pretty good. He had an opportunity to go play professionally overseas, but he got his girlfriend pregnant. So now he got to be daddy.
Yeah.
He ain't got time. He ain't got time for no basketball no more, right?
Right. And at the time, how did you you say you were about to go overseas, so was you really big on him going overseas?
I wanted him to go. I wanted him to go. Get up out of here and go try to make that money while you can before you get 32 years old, because the ball stopped bouncing at 32.
Right.
32. You got your 32, Clint.
Yep.
If you don't make it by 32, if you don't make it by 32, you ain't gonna make it.
Why you think I got the podcast?
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you said you were starting your podcast and doing all that. How difficult? Okay, so you had your team and you got your team success. How difficult was it to get other players and make their videos? After a while, were you hunting for players? To make videos?
Yeah.
How difficult was that?
So when I started doing the videos in 2012. I believe it was 2012. Yeah, 2012. When I started doing videos for other kids, I started missing my son's games.
Right.
Because everybody was asking for me to come to their game. And so people were hiring me left and right.
And at this time, your son was still in high school, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
All right, man. So as you was missing games, how difficult was it to get kids? Like, were you just simply going out there, just recording kids going to different games, or were you just people were just simply asking you, and that's what you were strictly doing?
Well, once I realized I can make money from it, and people were paying me to come to their game, then
I came up with
I came up with a plan on what I was gonna do. So when I would go film a game, I was there specifically for that individual, but I would film the whole game, and I figured out a way to do a YouTube video and capture the kid doing what he was doing.
Okay, so I have 2 questions for you. Who is your favorite? Okay, give me your top 5 best high school players you have ever seen play and done a video on.
In Indiana,
I'm talking about. Okay, we can go Indiana and then all over the country. Because I know you've done LaMelo, you've done.
I've done Marvin Bagley. I've done Bo. That game right there, that was the coldest game ever. Bo killed Marvin Bagley.
Wow.
Killed Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley dunk on it. He come down, shoot a 3. You know, Bo was nasty in high school. Right, that was a nasty game. I seen Jaylen Brown play against Thon Maker up at Best Choice Fieldhouse. Jaylen Brown dunked on Thon Maker with the left hand.
Wow.
Nasty pump fake, drive down the lane. Bam. I seen Rico, what's his name? The little redhead dude that played with Nico Mannion.
Yeah.
I seen him. I seen Nico Mannion. I seen Jalen Green. I seen what's my man that played with Detroit now? He was the number 1 pick last year. Cade Cunningham. I seen him go to work on Jalen Johnson, who is with the Atlanta Hawks. I used to go I covered all of the EYBL and Adidas. I done been all over the country. Peach Jam. I done been to California. I done went to Vegas. Yeah.
Where's
So the question. Okay. So my top 5 players that I've covered. That's tough. It's been a lot of bad boys. I'll say this. One of the funnest games I filmed was Jonathan Mavunga.
He plays overseas. He played with Hayward.
Jonathan, not Mavunga. Jonathan Kuminga.
Okay.
Plays with Golden State.
Yep.
I seen him play against a kid out of Milwaukee named Jalen Johnson with Atlanta. That was a good game. That was one of the best games I filmed. One of the funnest games. My absolute favorite player to film in Indiana was Romeo Langford.
Okay.
Romeo Langford was nasty in high school. I went to the state championship game when he was in 10th grade, and they beat Marion. No, they beat McCutcheon. They beat McCutcheon in the state championship, and he's only in 10th grade. And that same year, he was playing against Paul Scruggs and Joey Brunk, and they were in Richmond.
Okay.
And Romeo was in the 10th grade. He dropped 46 in front of Rick Pitino. And Rick Pitino was sitting in the audience. And if you go back and look at the video, Rick Pitino is going nuts because the kid was just on fire. He was on fire. And every time he made a shot, Rick Pitino would lean back like this.
Okay.
And I got him on camera doing that. Yeah. Every time he did something, I would zoom in to Rick Pitino. Boom, look at him. That was the most funnest game I ever seen in Indiana. In Indiana since I've been doing this stuff. Other players one of the best games that I didn't film but seen was Derrick Rose versus Eric Gordon.
Wow.
That was at Southport. That's when Eric Gordon had committed to Illinois, right? All them people from Illinois came over here and the whole gym was orange. 2 days later, he decommitted and committed to Indiana. Yeah. I don't know if it was 2 days later, but a couple days later. A couple days later, he decommitted.
Within a week.
Yeah.
Within a week.
That was a great game. I got an opportunity when we first moved here to see Greg Oden. Greg Oden played against what's the big kid he played with Indiana? Tyler Hansborough?
Yeah, the white kid.
Tyler Hansborough came down here and killed Greg Oden. People don't never talk about that.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Tyler Hansborough, I didn't even know who they were. We was just excited to go to a game, and they played these games at Butler. And we went over to Butler, and Tyler Hansborough
gave... You was filming and stuff at the
time? No.
Okay.
I didn't know nothing about no camera then when that happened. That was in like 04.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, with the Derrick Rose game, Eric Gordon stole the ball from Derrick Rose at half court and went down the court, and Derrick Rose tried to run him down from behind, and Eric Gordon dunked on him so nasty. Oh. Yeah. Now, I was at that game, too, when Eric Gordon dropped 44 points on Michael Jordan's son at North Central. I was at that game.
Was that ugly?
Oh, my God. He destroyed them.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Eric Gordon was a bad boy. Mm-hmm. So strong, so athletic. I mean, you really think about it, he's probably one of the most successful NBA players that made it from Indiana. Yeah. I mean, he's had a tremendous career. He's played a long time.
LA, when he was in New Orleans, LA.
Yeah.
When he played with the Clippers. Wild City.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of some other really good high school player games.
What about this past year? Who were some of the best players you saw?
This past season?
Braden Smith, of course.
Braden Smith was really fun to watch. I think he's going to do really well at Purdue. I liked the game with Anderson. The Anderson Tech game was a really fun game to film. That was probably one of the most exciting games of the season last season. Anderson versus Tech that I shot. The state championship game was really cool with Cathedral playing against who did they beat? I forget who they beat, but that was a good game. This year, I didn't go as much. I'll tell you a fun game I went to see. Julian Newman versus LaMelo Ball was a great game. LaMelo Ball was nasty. Right. LaMelo Ball was nasty in high school. Yeah. He played against Garfield. I drove all the way over to Cleveland, Ohio to see LaMelo Ball play against Garfield Heights. That's the dude, Michi Johnson, that played. He was the point guard that played at Ohio State. LaMelo Ball told him a new one. He had a triple-double. In high school, in the third quarter, he had a triple-double. And the Jackson kid, Isaiah Jackson, that plays for the Pacers, he was on LaMelo Ball's high school team, Spire Academy. Wow. So, yeah, man, we've been around the park a few times watching kids all over.
So, I mean, how did you learn? You started off not really knowing nothing. No social media was around. There was nothing to really, run off of. How did you learn how did you learn some of your tips?
Before we get into that, you have 2 camps coming up.
Yep, I do.
The Gym Hoops.
Yep.
Let's talk about those real quick. You got some new uniforms this time? We got some
cold new uniforms. We switch our colors every year. Okay. We at the campus, we have our third women's camp is Inthegymhoops Women. That's Saturday, September 3rd from like 12 to 6:37. And then September the 10th, Saturday, September the 10th, we have our boys camp. Our colors are green and black this year for the boys. Our girls are purple and gold. We rocking with the Laker colors. And then the green and black, we reminiscing our team 317, which was green and black. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Getting back to that question, though.
The venue is at Mojo Up Sports Complex.
Oh, it's a Finch Creek.
If you haven't signed up, sign up today.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah.
How do you get into that? Who else is all going to be there besides? You know what I mean?
This year we got the entire Indy Premier basketball team is going to be there. We got some of the top kids from Edmond Sumner are going to be there. We got some kids from Chicago. Chicago Bulldogs are coming down. We got some kids from Louisville. We got about 25 states that have committed to coming to the camp. Okay. It's going to be a live event. We got a bunch of talent coming in. They'll play. They'll do drills in skill and development. One of my friends, Rob Blackwell, which I think is one of the best trainers in the city, is handling the drills and skills. And then each player will get the opportunity to play in 3 games. If you're selected to the All-Star team, you'll play in the 4th game. We got big fat Indiana in the gym hoop All-Star rings with diamonds and stuff all over that we give to the kids after the game. There will be no MVP this year. It'll just be straight. If you make the All-Star team, you get an award. If you don't, you don't. Yeah. It is what it is.
How long has this event been, by the way?
This is the 8th year for the camp. We do 2 a year, one in February, one in the fall, and one in the spring.
Okay. All right, to let everybody know, I am a 3-point contest champion. I think I have I have the best shooting performance all time in the gym hoop system.
You might be, man.
12 for 15.
You were 12 for 15. I don't know if anybody has topped that.
Anybody's ever beat that before.
Yeah.
I'll challenge anybody. I want to see your video. I'll challenge anybody. 3-point contest.
Yep.
My
Yep.
opinion, I'm the best shooter in the class of 2027.
All right.
Take that with how you want to take
All
it.
right.
It's okay, though.
All right.
I ain't mad at the
okay.
confidence there, yo,
Yeah,
Clint.
okay,
I ain't
love.
mad at the
I've been
confidence.
selected to All-Star team a couple
Okay.
times, so. But I'm looking forward to coming out to camp this year. Maybe let's see if my injury gets.
Well, come
I want
on.
to get cleared. I want to get healthy, but my goal is to be out there.
All right. All right.
Let's go halftime heat check real quick. What are you wearing, sir? You got your Inthegymhoops gear on, don't you?
I got my Inthegymhoops, rocking the brand. Got to rock the brand. What else you need to know?
He's got some forces on.
I got to go with the old school. I actually got these for the camp. These is my colors, so they're going to be matching my uniforms. The green and black joints. The Air Force Ones. I got every color you can think of, like all these shorties be rocking the Jordans. I rock Air Force Ones, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, I'm just going to play. I don't have my Heat and Soul podcast merch on today. I know, disappointing, right? I wore it all weekend though, so listen, you gotta get out of it sometimes. But right now, I got some ones on.
What's that, man?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry. You were supposed to say anything. Don't worry about that.
You got to try to keep them creases from me. You got to. You try to keep them creases in there, man. Yeah. I know what that is. I know what that is.
Red-handed, but I got some ones.
I played high school basketball in those when they first came out.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, back then the Jordan was $83.
These are supposed to look
Yeah.
too. You see that worth like the material?
How much you pay for them? I just need to know.
I don't know. I don't remember. What was it like 185, 180? I have no clue.
120.
These are not 120. Mids are 120.
170.
Yeah, they're like 170. I don't know.
Them shoes done went up. They done went up 50%. 50% increase
Like
since
how?
19.
yeah.
Since 19. I'm telling my age since 1986 when I was a sophomore.
Kenny, what are you walking with? I know you got the Robin shirt
just
on.
a regular old shirt, some jeans and some Vans as always.
He's got the checkers on. But this was halftime heat check. We're gonna cut it off here for a second. We'll be right back with you guys here in a minute.
I just want to know a couple things. Like, since you've been filming basketball for a long time. You watch a lot of great players. You've pretty much seen the game evolve over time, as I would say at least, since you've been around for so long. Where do you think the future of basketball is going, as far as to change?
There's always opportunity. I'll say this: since 2012 in Indiana, I think Indiana had almost 200 guys go Division I. Since 2012, the talent has consistently decreased. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think the kids take it as serious. I think video games, cell phones are distractions, and kids don't play outside anymore like they used to. I think that each state has reputations that college coaches know about. Like Indiana's reputation is that we have the most smartest basketball players. Our players really know the game. They know how to play. They know and we got great shooters. Fundamentally sound.
Right.
IQ is tough. But we also have a reputation of not being the most toughest kids.
Right.
Okay? And I'm getting this firsthand. This is just not me saying this. This is firsthand coming from college coaches.
And do you simply think it's just because social media and all that nowadays?
I don't know if it's necessarily social media. I just think that kids, we want our kids to have a better life than we did. So us as parents, we give more to our kids than we got.
Yep.
And so kids are given more opportunities than we did, and they don't work as hard for it. They're put in positions to be successful, but they don't have to earn it like we used to when we were coming.
Okay, I have a question.
Mhm.
Okay, so you do a bunch of your editing is super dope. Everything you do with social media is super cool. The music you put to it, with your videos, that you're editing out, you are one of my you're like somebody I look up to. So
Thank you.
where did you learn how to edit your videos, and what kind of process? How long did it take you to how long did it take you to master your skills?
I'm still learning. Learning. I'm always trying to figure out how to do different things and learn stuff.
Make life a little more easier.
Yeah. There was a phase there where everybody wanted all of these super great graphics and all of these different things on there. Now there's a phase where kids are like, just give me the video. I don't care about all that.
Right. Make sure I got the 30 on there.
Because they just want the publicity.
They want the publicity. They want it
Yeah.
quick. And I mean, one of the things that I've learned about editing is you got to be fast, you got to be efficient, you got to understand how to get your stuff out fast because it's news.
Right.
And social media is an outlet.
It needs to be as recent as possible.
Absolutely. You got to be in those who succeed on social media, companies like Slam and Ballers Life, they have 100 or so videographers and editors. Overtime came out of nowhere and blew up real fast because they have an app that they can record on and they're on the opposite end of the app. Somebody's on the opposite end downloading that content, making the video right away.
Posting
it.
Within literally 2 minutes of it
It's called
happening.
instant highlights.
Yeah, doing their work pretty much.
Yeah, so I mean, but it's the NBA does it too. Like if you go to an NBA game and you sit in the front row in the game, somebody dunks on somebody, they can press a button and then all of a sudden it automatically pops back up when they show the replay on the Trumbo cam. You know, so instant highlights is something that's very common at the professional level. And you know, you just got to be fast at doing that type of stuff. Sometimes I'm not as fast. It just depends on the situation. Sometimes I'm not motivated.
Have you ever thought about going that big? As far as being NBA cameraman type deal, being on the floor, doing all that?
I would love the opportunity to, yes, but they won't let me in. I've covered some McDonald All-American games, and I've covered the Jordan Brand game, and that kind of stuff, but they won't let me in. I mean, because the NBA owns the content. Do what I want with it. It's their content.
Have you ever tried to do the collegiate?
I've done some college stuff. I've done some college stuff sometimes. I've done IUPUI and Butler and stuff like that. I've covered some Purdue games. I've traveled down and shot some Indiana games and done some stuff down there on occasion. But usually it's a player that gets me in. If I just go directly through their media department and take the proper channels to get media credentials, they're not going to allow me in. So because they have their own student body that's doing that type of stuff, and you know, we've even had kids that we hired to work for Inthegymhoops that are like internships through Ball State. I got 2 guys who still represent Inthegymhoops, but they're directors of video productions for their colleges. One of them is at Tulane, and one of them is at UNC Greensboro.
That's
super cool.
So
You've been doing this for a long time. Don't give your secret sauce away and how you edit so quick, but what is your favorite software to use? What camera, mic, and like lighting?
I like Adobe. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I think that's one of the more common softwares. A lot of people use Final Cut, but I like Adobe. That's just my go-to thing.
Okay.
What else did you just ask me?
Mic. What kind of mic? Like,
I got a Rode mic, lavalier microphone. There are a couple of different mics that I would recommend. DJI is a good lavalier microphone, or Rode are probably the 2 ones to use for sports. But then you also have another type of microphone for professional videos like interviews, talking head interviews, and stuff like that.
Okay. So actually, I got a question. So you start off pretty small, like you say. You start off doing $50 a video. As time go by, you evolve. You learn a lot of stuff. What's the prices like now? You're so big.
I mean, honestly,
you know
I'm still not that expensive. I mean, I charge $175 a game.
Okay.
To come out and film, and if you do well enough in that game, you don't need me to come out in a second game.
Right.
But if you need me to come out a second game, then it's $75 an additional game. So I try to tell people $250 for 2 games, because most of the time you're gonna need a second game. You know what I'm saying? You might get in foul trouble. You might get hurt. You might get beat up. You might be off that day. You know, something is gonna always be something. But if you do what you're supposed to do, then you know, it's no problem. $250 is pretty much the going rate nationwide for.
Okay.
mixtape.
And so with that being said, as you get bigger, you evolve. You told me about. You say you got a couple guys doing camera work. How is it building your team? How do you go about building your team? Because you got your own brand now. So basically,
right. Well, we went to St. Louis this weekend. They had 6 courts, which means, and I was the exclusive videographer for the camp.
So tell us what's that all about? Like, what did that exactly mean?
So basically, I was selling videos to all of the campers at the camp, and the camp organizer, was sending in people to me. We were selling videos for $175. They played 3 games. That's what I do with my camp too. My
Yeah.
camp,
Right.
the videos
Yeah.
are $175. You play 3 games. It's really a discount. People think it's
Right.
expensive, but
yeah.
it's really a discount considering my man wanted $2,000 back in
Yeah.
2007.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Like, what's the going rate now? Since
it's $175 for a camp.
And that's not bad because if
1
you
minute
divide that by
mixtape.
that by 3, that's not
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So it was me. I had myself included, but it was 6 of us.
Okay.
6 videographers. I took my team. I rented a van. They drove out.
And all 6 cameras go.
All 6 cameras. We're filming the entire camp, my camp, and they're taught to film. They don't just stay in one spot. They move.
Yeah, tell us exactly how they go. You
They're
guys
on
follow the
bleachers.
ball or the play? How
They
exactly?
film the ball.
Okay.
Wherever
And all
the ball
6 of you
goes.
guys did pretty much.
Yeah. So when I do it, if I film the ball, whoever has the ball, if you make a play, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so once we're done with that, then we go through all of the footage, which is the time consuming. Because I tell the people at the camps, hey man, we sell 50, 60, 75, 80, 100 videos some weekends. And it's a lot of work, and you got to go through every detail. I mean, if a kid does an in and out cross, and he crosses over a kid but misses the shot, it still could be a potential play in the video.
you edit the
You know
shot.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
'Cause sometimes these kids' parents buy videos and they don't do anything, and then they're like, man, I want video still. I want my video still.
Still give me something.
I've done a video of a kid that didn't even make a basket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Made it work there, right?
And the kid was like 6 years old, right? And his grandmother was livid, like, Harry, where's my baby video? Where's my baby video? And I did the video. She could not believe it. She was tickled to death how cold that video, because he had his little ring. He made the All-Star team.
Right, we're not a
I got
single
all
bucket
these
in the
graphics and
basket.
stuff in there and
A
everything.
single bucket in the basket.
I even showed him getting a steal. He got a steal. That was his best play of the camp. He got 1 steal. I showed the steal. I mean, his video was the last. I hate doing videos when people don't do anything. It's so hard to do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because you're stuck with such little.
God,
I've ran into that before because you're stuck with such little content. It's like I got to do something with this.
Yeah, I gotta shape
How
it.
can I make this work? And those are the videos where they're the headaches. Those
It's
are the
always
headaches.
that parent too is the one that's mad at me.
Listen, I don't have to deal with parents.
So
I just got to deal with him saying, "Do you have the video done yet?" I don't have to deal with what you have to deal with. Parents DM you, "Hey, dude, you got my video done yet? You got my video done yet?"
Yeah, but now that being said, like, okay, so do you ever get to mic people up during games and do that? How is that? Did that cost more? Do they allow you to do that? Is that only during
Most of the
camps?
time, I'm micing up the best kids. I don't want to mic
okay.
up some kid that paid me because most of the time when people buy, I mean, it'd be some good
Right,
players that buy videos too.
Yeah.
Don't misunderstand me, but there's most of the time it's the best players are the ones.
Just get
They get mic'd up.
Yeah, and they're usually the ones that are not gonna buy video.
Right.
So I might put one clip out of them.
Yeah, other than just
One clip showing
Trying to
that
get
they're
a
doing something phenomenal.
And-
Like this past weekend, we like I said, we had 6 videographers. There were 6 courts, and we posted. I don't know, it's probably 12 videos on our Instagram page from the camp.
They're reels, aren't they?
Yeah, they're reels. I only do reels pretty much all the time now. I don't even really post anything else right now.
Yeah, rules are pretty much quick, get to the cut.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you?
What is your favorite location to film at?
In Indianapolis,
Yes.
man, my favorite gym to film at so far since I've been filming is the gym that Cody and Tyler Zeller played at. What is that called? It's down in Washington, Indiana.
Okay.
That is the coldest gym in the state to me.
What?
Yes.
What's going on down there?
What about the
Washington's
wigwam?
pretty dead, huh?
I've never filmed in the wigwam. I've never shot there.
Would you like to?
Yeah.
Because you know it's getting worked on, right?
I've never shot the wigwam.
What makes Washington great?
Yeah, that's what I was.
If I would have played high school basketball there, I would have averaged 30.
For real?
Yes.
What got
The
you-
lights,
What got you feeling
the
like?
way how bouncy the floor is, and the way it sits up, it's like a pit.
Is
It's like a bigger caramel.
Is it newer? Did
No, Cody Tyler Zeller played there.
Oh, okay.
They call it the chop house or the
Yeah, because I didn't know anything.
something like that. I can't think of the name of it. But that's the coldest gym to me to play in.
Wow.
I would say the funnest gym to film in would be Game Bridge.
Okay.
I get access to. There's a lot of guys around here that can't get access to the state championship. I got access to the state championship. I go to all of them every year.
That's super, right.
And that's fun to
super.
shoot that.
That's super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you prefer doing camps or games when you're doing when you're editing videos? What is it?
I like games.
Okay.
You know, camps are fun to do if they're playing hard. You know, if they're just out there showboating and doing all of the fancy razzle dazzle, that's cool. You know, but I'd rather catch normal, natural basketball plays as opposed to the, you know, crossing over, dribbling 50 times.
But it's
yeah,
what
the
looks,
hatchet house.
Yeah.
I was right. I was pretty close.
But it's what looks good on camera. And what do people like to see on Instagram? People like to see people getting dunked on, getting crossed up. But I think the most competitive game, like camp game that I've played out of yours, we played, it was the last game we actually played. It was before the All-Star game. And it was me, Skylar, Tonio. And that game came down the wire. We actually ended up tying that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught fire like the last, I think it was like the last quarter.
Is that right?
Yeah. I had 25. Go look back at the film.
Okay.
Go look back at the film.
Okay.
You'll count 25, trust me.
Well, I'll say this: with camps, you know, you play 3 games in one day. Think about this: when you go to play in an AAU basketball tournament, you'll play maybe 2 in a day, then you play 2 the next day,
2 or 3,
2 or 3. But you got breaks
between
2 or 3, maybe breaks in between. So it's kind of the same concept, but the games are shorter. It's a running clock.
They're normally 20 minutes.
25, 30-minute games. Mm-hmm.
How did it feel when you had a video hit 1 million? Have you had that before?
Oh yeah. I got, I think 5 or 6 videos that's hit 1 million. I know Julian Newman videos got like 4 million. That's a great feeling to hit 1 million views on YouTube. Really great feeling. Every video I've done of Julian Newman has went viral.
Right.
Every single.
I think
one.
anything with his name on it goes. I mean, literally, it does very well.
I've had a couple of videos go viral on Instagram. I did one of what's the kid name? Imani Bates.
Okay.
I did a video of Imani Bates. It's got on Instagram. I think it's got like 2 million views on Instagram.
How do you think he'll fare out in college?
I think he's gonna be okay, man. I just think he just gotta get stronger.
Didn't he just transfer?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
transferred.
because Memphis, it didn't feel like the right fit for that.
No, I don't understand. I think he should have stayed in high school.
Yeah,
and
just
finished
a little
out the
bit,
way.
Yeah.
He reclassified up, and I just think he should have stayed in high school. Then went ahead and finished in high school because he was killing in Detroit. He's from Ypsilanti. He played at Lincoln High School in Ypsilanti, and then he transferred. They started a prep school called Ypsi Prep.
Right. Okay.
And so I think he should have just stayed and played and finished out.
All right.
at Ypsi Prep.
Let's talk. We're gonna wrap this podcast up a little bit. Probably got about 10 minutes left, but I really do want to talk about NIL with you.
Okay.
NIL.
Okay.
What are your thoughts and ideas on NIL? Do you think it is good for the game? We've had mixed emotions. Do you think it's good for the game? We've had with high school coaches. We've had mixed emotions. Do you think it's good for the game? Do you think it's bad for the game? Do you think what are your pros and cons to the NIL?
I think it's good for the individual. Okay, and the reason why I say that, I don't know if it's good for the game, but for years players have been getting paid under the table.
Right.
For years.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? Now it's out in the open. Now it's damaging the game, so to speak. If people think, I don't think it is. I don't know if it's damaging the game. So I'm kind of contradicting what I was thinking, but I think it's fine. I think you only have a small window of opportunity. You know, you go from 18 years old to about 32 years old, and the ball gonna stop bouncing.
Right.
And the only reason the ball doesn't stop bouncing for players like LeBron James is because they're exceptional athletes. They're freaks. But the average player, 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, you're pretty much declining from there.
You're declining, or you didn't make it.
Yeah.
And then you got. It's one thing to make it to the NBA.
But it's not.
It's another thing to stay. And
Yeah.
so those exceptional players stay.
Yeah.
Those ones that are just average. People say this all the time. Man, why is he on the team? He sucks. No, you got to be cold to make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
Yep.
You really got to be good.
Yep.
There's nobody in the NBA that's not good. But my point with the NIL thing is, if you got an opportunity to get paid, while you're playing college basketball, it's okay. To me, you should get it. You should get it. I think it's fair. I think they've been doing it under the table for years, and now that it's out open.
I also think it gives any other player besides a star, I guess you would say, the opportunity to make some money, like you said.
Absolutely. I mean, I played college basketball and I didn't have a dime. I was broke, and it would have been nice to get NIL opportunities.
cash in your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I was cutting hair and washing cars and doing everything, gambling, shooting dice, whatever I had to do. Whatever I had to do to.
So we're gonna head into rapid fire questions real quick.
Okay.
Real quick. Who is your GOAT? MJ or LeBron? Or you might have a different one.
My goal is MJ. I actually had the opportunity to play one-on-one.
Give us your story.
I got to play one-on-one when I was 16 years old. No, 17. 16 or 17 years old. Jim Jones, who was a former Cleveland Cavalier, invited him to Indianapolis to come, or to Racine, Wisconsin, to come to this camp. And I was mad. I was mad at Michael Jordan because he was late. And so I was mean mugging him the whole time. And for whatever reason, we caught eyes, and he picked me to come out on the court. And then he was like, "You want to play me one-on-one? You want to play this kid?" When I was like, "I'm gonna play you." And so I played him one-on-one. He let me, but I hit a jumper. I hit a pull-up jumper on him. Got a left-hand layup on him, and then when he got the ball, he was 6'7". He was cat.
How tall was he at the time?
Wow.
5'9", 5'8". I couldn't stay in front of him. Cat quit. But anyway, I like Michael Jordan. He was much more of a killer to me when the game's on the line. I mean, people gonna probably look at me crazy, but I would take Michael and Kobe over LeBron when it comes to the game on the line.
Okay.
All day.
All right. Yeah, that's okay. He's mad.
All day.
He's a little off. It's okay.
I like LeBron too.
It's okay.
I like LeBron
it's
too.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Don't get your feelings hurt. It's okay.
I definitely don't.
He's in his feelings right now.
No, I mean,
we see
hey,
this every month.
you can't. LeBron is probably got a better all-around game than Michael Jordan because he's
not a
has
killer.
dribble, but he's not a killer. That's all I'm saying. Michael Jordan will step on your neck and stomp on you.
LeBron will let somebody stomp on him and then cry about it. And then
Michael Jordan was never gonna let nobody come back in the championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's turned into an argument more often. But
Think about it. They let Dallas come back when he was with Miami.
What are you
gonna say about MJ?
That was,
He took 2 years off. He took a vacation and said, "Hey, let me come back," and then dominate the league for another 3 years. Could LeBron ever do that?
LeBron's with the
LeBron is a goat, man.
He's in my opinion, he's the greatest player of all time.
That's why you're wearing a Rodman shirt. That's okay. Yeah, keep it over there. That's why you're wearing a Rodman shirt. Keep it over there.
That dude, he's underneath.
Honestly, you could argue Kareem, Bill Russell. You know what I'm saying? No. Don't get it twisted now. Bill Russell, 11 championship rings.
He's playing 9 to 5s.
What?
He's playing 9 to 5s.
What you talking about? Converse?
No, he's playing 9 to 5s. These dudes are working 9 to 5s and then coming out here and playing a 6'11" Bill Russell. He's playing 9 to 5s.
Okay, but he won 2 college championships too at San Francisco.
He's won in every form and fashion.
Absolutely.
As a player, a coach,
He got 11 rings.
We're going to have him back on this podcast. We're going to have to have him back on. We're going to have to have
Kareem.
Okay, maybe.
Nobody's ever invented a shot.
And you know what?
It's not been duplicatable either. Nobody can do that stuff.
No. I would agree with that. I would agree.
I am all about longevity and consistency over peaks. You know what I mean? I feel like LeBron's peak's been very, very great. It's been
Kareem played 20 years.
That's cool, but
he's the most sought out athlete.
A year 20 was he playing?
All I gotta say is if Jordan played all the 90s, he would have swept the 90s. End of conversation. You sound crazy. LeBron's 4-9. Steph Curry. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Kenny, let's move on. Yeah.
Let alone
win. Yeah, Jordan's 6-0. LeBron's 5-9. All right, let's cut it off. Michael Jackson or Prince? Who you going with? Who you rocking? Mike. All right.
I like Prince too, though, but I go with Michael Jackson.
Why you have the edge over? Why you have Mike over Prince? Exactly.
I mean, they both were geniuses. I think they both got killed too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely
Mike had them beats. He had them Beatles. He had them Beatles rights. Yeah, and Sony came in.
He had that bread.
Sent them goons up just like Elvis Presley.
What's
Had
on
the
your
dude
playlist?
kill Elvis Presley.
Yep.
What's on your playlist nowadays?
Oh, my playlist? Man, I'm old school. SOS Band, Loose Ends, Soul to Soul.
Okay. And then what's the best music for mixtapes in your opinion?
Whatever the customer wants.
I was about to say, I thought that was like something you picked.
Long as
right?
it's no cussing. Long as no cussing in racial derogatory terms.
How was my
I don't
music?
care what it is.
How was my music I picked?
Oh yeah, you picked some old school music. What'd you pick?
Was it Mine's Playing Tricks on Me?
You picked some Scarface. Okay, your daddy picked this song.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, get serious. I picked it. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
You know nothing about Bushwick Bill, man. Willie D.
On videos, would you rather have good sound or a good quality video or good sound like that? Would you rather the video be good or the sound be good?
Both.
Yeah, I was like,
That's a crazy question.
You can't have one without the other. You gotta have good video and good sound.
And then how can they find you on social media? Book you.
Okay. Our tagline is InTheGymHoops _ on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Okay. A lesson for you whenever you create social content, you want to have your name be the same on all of them across the board. LinkedIn is at InTheGymHoops _ so it's consistent all the way across the board for all of the social media platforms except for YouTube. It's just InTheGymHoops on there. And it was InTheGymHoops on all of them, but I lost my pages because I was violating the copyright policies. Wow. So I've started over, so I really should have 100,000 on all of them right now.
Wow. You work with a lot of people. Is there anybody that you would like to shout out?
I'd like to shout out my boy Rob Blackwell. I'd like to shout out my guy Travis Brown from Mojo Up for working with me. I'd like to shout out you, young fella, for bringing me on here today. That was really appreciated. Really nice of you to bring me on here today. Just my family, my parents, and everybody that's been around and watched me come through this whole process. Okay. And who else? Just through this journey, it's been a real fun journey.
Well, I like this. Thank you for coming out. We had great stories. I had a great time having you on the podcast. I'm looking forward to the future. Thank you for inspiring me. You definitely you're an inspiration to me. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad I could be that. If I can help one person, I've done my job. Right.
Yeah. Facts.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to go follow them on all social medias. Again, thank you for coming out tonight, Kenny. Have fun. I'd like to thank everybody in the background who's making the world go around. Dad, BK, B4 on Instagram.
Sign up for the camp, Inthegymhoops.com.
Yep. Make sure to sign up for their camp, and then shout out Leo as well. Thank you, man. Thank you. I call this dude a lot. I probably drive him crazy, but I got a lot of ideas, and I just throw them out to him. See what he thinks. But Heat and Soul Podcast, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're out.